tell them suckers to move. I ain't in the mood. Got me with the crew, let me do what I do. I tell them suckers to poof. Got me in the booth, lobby in the truth. Let me do what I do. Yeah, remember when the U come through, enter the music jungle. Or back with the block, I used to rock, I used to fumble. I still rock down, drop the ball when I run through. I drop the classic shit, and drop the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Manny.
My name's Alberto.
And this is the Onlyfights Podcast.
What's up, man?
Thanks for tuning in. You know, had a pretty crazy, strange weekend.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
No UFC this week.
Yeah, no MMA almost at all. Almost at all.
Almost. A couple MMA fighters.
And boxing, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
But we did have some real boxing over the weekend, you know, on Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Top Rank, ESPN, they had a card. Oscar Valdez took on Robson Conceicao. And pretty good undercard. They had Xander Zayas on that. You know, he took on Jose Luis Sanchez, defeated him, unanimous decision, won pretty much every round, dropped him. Good fight, man. You know, he took some punishment and you know, did what he had to do.
Yeah.
I like seeing him. He's like 17-0 or 18-0, something like that. And young kid, 19 years old, Puerto Rican. You know, looking like the next big thing out of PR.
Yeah.
You know, 154-pound division. So, yeah, man. I've been. I think I watched almost all his fights.
Really?
Because I remember when he got signed to Top Rank and made his pro debut. You know, so I watched almost all his fights, and just looking forward to seeing him grow and seeing where his career goes from there. Hunso Nakatani took on Angel Acosta, and what was a very spirited effort by Acosta. You know, I don't know if he suffered a broken nose or what, but the referee kept stopping the fight because his nose was leaking. I mean, it just was not. It would not stop bleeding, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Damn.
And eventually they had to stop the fight. So Nakatani wins by fourth round TKO. You know, pretty fun fight while it lasted.
Yeah.
Like I said, just the blood and all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But that was the undercard, and then only two fights on the main card, pretty much just the co-main and the main.
Mm-hmm.
But Gabe Flores Jr., I was really looking forward to seeing him. You know, undefeated kid, came in, stepped up his competition, and man, did he pay. Luis Alberto Lopez, Luis Vargas.
Damn, Hispanics using all their fucking last names.
Yeah, man, he came in and he dominated pretty much every round, man. It was bad. Towards I think in the 9th round, they were gonna stop the fight. You know, his dad is his trainer.
Yeah.
And he was about to wave it off, and
damn,
it was bad, and you know, Gabe had to basically fight and plead for the chance to go the distance. And I just thought it was really unnecessary, man. Like, he took a freaking beating, man. Like,
damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people just, he might not be the same after that. You know what I mean? And it was just unnecessary for him to go all 10 rounds. During that 10th round, he gets rocked with an uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
And so his dad was told the cut man to stop the fight. So he's up in the corner, like, waving his hands. And I don't know how the referee didn't see it, but referee didn't see it. And then there was only like 15 seconds left. So the trainer was just like, yo, you could see the trainer kind of like negate that. So it should have been a TKO for real, but, you know.
But it went the distance?
Yeah, it went the distance, and he won. You know, the judges gave him 98-92.
Don't you physically have to throw in the towel, or is that not?
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't. I guess he didn't think to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't see at that point why you couldn't just even like go inside the ring. Because if you go in the ring, they're gonna stop. That's it. They're gonna stop the fight. And you know, if that's what you're aiming for, you know. But nonetheless, man, you know, it was a pretty bad beating. A fight that could have been stopped.
Yeah.
6th, 7th round, and that happened. That was the co-main. The main event was Oscar Valdez, who, we shed some light in our last episode about him testing positive for phenamine, which is a banned substance, and how the WBC basically chose to handle it, and with the WADA rules instead of VADA, which is what they normally do. They normally use VADA, which is a more strict anti-doping agency than WADA is. And they went on with the fight. Of course, people weren't happy with it. So there was already like a sour taste of this fight. Conceicao, he won like the first 5 rounds. He was just outboxing Valdez. Valdez had his moments in like I think the 2nd or 3rd round, some swing rounds throughout the fight, and a very questionable point taken from Conceicao when he kind of just tapped him in the back of the head. And Valdez complained about it, and the referee didn't even really warn him. He just took a point away.
So once he complained, he took a point away?
Yeah, he kind of just looked at the referee like, yo, what the fuck? And the referee did it. Now, Conceicao did do a lot of dirty tricks. At one point, he did a lot of clinching, and at one point, he came up with his shoulder on the clinch, and he did a lot of dirty things. So it's not too crazy to take a point away, but to say I'm taking a point away for hitting behind the head when it was just a tap and he only did it that one time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just weird. So in the mid to later rounds, Valdez is boxing. He's cutting off the ring. He's having some success, but it also looks like he's getting outboxed. He's getting jabbed, and Conceicao's doing a lot of like showboating, taunting, kind of like some Roy Jones stuff.
Yeah.
But he wasn't beating him like that much. I don't think. I was giving him more of the rounds, and I ended up scoring it. I gave it to Conceicao.
Yeah.
And I had him winning by 2 rounds with a point deduction that he only wins by 1 point. So I had Conceicao winning by 1 point. Valdez won the fight, unanimous decision.
Yep.
The judges had it 115. 2 judges had it 115 to 112 for Valdez, and 1 judge had it 117 to 110. Now that's the scorecard that has everybody saying that this is a robbery.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people from the fighting world, sharing their thoughts on this fight, and it seems to be pretty controversial decision, I would say. I think the main thing is they said that I guess Valdez the fight was in Arizona, was it?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
And that's where he fights out of, right?
He fights out of Arizona, or he's from Arizona rather, and he was a champion.
Yeah.
And he won the championship rounds. There's a lot of things that you can say. I don't, I'm not gonna say this is a robbery. I'm not gonna complain about it.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
You think you should give him the rematch?
If there's a demand for it, I don't know if there's a demand for it. I think people want to see Valdez take on the winner of Shakur Stevenson versus Jamel Herring, which is I can't remember the exact date on that. I think it's in November. Yeah, I kind of want to just see him move on for real.
Yeah.
And at least at this point we know that Conceicao is a good fighter. I mean, he was undefeated up until this fight.
So he was Olympic gold medalist?
Yes. Yeah. Brazil.
Yeah.
And we know he's here. Maybe he can take on Miguel Berchelt, another opponent of Valdez.
Were they both undefeated?
Yeah. Yeah, so Valdez just took on 2 undefeated people and beat them. Gave 2 people their first losses. Unfortunately, he has the stain though of the banned substance. Testing positive and doing all that.
But that doesn't really. I guess he's not gonna face any other punishment or repercussions because of that, right?
Well, there's a lot more to it. You know how people are. They always kind of look at the bad, before they look at the good.
Yeah.
So WBC, I mean, I guess they instituted a lot of extra rules for him, and basically he's going to be taking more tests and it's going to be more strict. You know, it's not the
Oh, that's right. So this was like a month out or something, right? This was like some time out before the fight that he tested positive.
yeah.
So I'd be interested to see what the results were of the. Could they test him before the fight too? Don't they? Either like the day before or a couple days before.
and he's clean.
Oh, he was clean
He's
on
good.
those. Okay.
Yeah. So he didn't have anything in his system.
All right then, yeah.
Then, but it's the training. You know, it's while he was training.
Yeah.
But regardless, you know, the system worked. You know, he got caught. It's just a matter of how it was handled.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I mean, you know, they're gonna move forward with it, and it is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
That's just part of the sport. You know, like every sport has their hiccups.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seemed like a good fight.
it was, and then that's another thing, man. It was a good fight. You know, I enjoyed watching it. I'm not gonna just keep letting the stains ruin what I thought was a great fight. So, and then the next day, on Saturday, the circus came to town.
Hell yeah.
Man, Triller, I don't know, man. Triller, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like,
As a production, first of all, I think it was pretty bad. Like it seemed like there was just no like organization or direction to it. Like the guys on the panel would just like be talking and they would just like stop talking, and then they would like switch over to some other guys, and then they'd be like mid conversation already. Like it was kind of a mess. Like the production wise.
you know, it's funny that you say that because like the production was a huge step up from the last one. Like,
that's crazy.
With the Jake Paul and Ben Askren fight.
Yeah.
I mean that was a shit show, man. That was terrible. But yeah, I mean it was still bad. I had it on, you know, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. You know, I saw that David Haye beat Joe Fournier, his friend. You know, it was a sparring match. You know, like they weren't trying to hurt each other. He wasn't.
That was the heavyweight one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, it was boring. I didn't pay much attention to it. What was after that?
The second fight was the one with the distance. I'm not.
John O'Carroll and the other guy. Yeah, I wasn't too worried about it. You know, I checked it out. Whatever.
That seemed to be the best fight, but it seemed like it seemed to be the best fight of the night, but the fight like least watched. Like no, like even Trump they weren't even talking about the fight half the time, but Trump was pretty funny. That was probably what saved the production, honestly, having him on there.
Yeah, well, they were in Florida, and you know Trump he's big out there. Yeah, it's a huge Republican state.
That's true.
Yeah, man.
Was he gonna do it in Vegas, or before it got switched, was he gonna do that, or was it announced like when they moved it to Florida?
Yeah, no, it was announced afterwards.
Okay.
I don't know but probably could have still did it in Vegas maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was him and his son. It wasn't too bad. Like they're, you know.
No, it was entertaining as fuck.
A little better than what I expected. I mean, you know, Trump being in he's been in boxing since the 80s. You know, like he had those fights with Tyson. And, you know,
for sure.
He had him at his hotel and casino and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So it ain't crazy to think that Trump would do something like
and his
that.
whole thing is TV. I mean, he loves TV, so anything he can get on TV, he'll do it. Like, you know, he's done WWE before multiple times. Like, he's a master of TV.
Yeah, man, Trump, like he has a crazy lifestyle, man. Everything that he's done, you know. But yeah, it was pretty funny to see him up there and then see him.
It was random.
See Dos Santos.
Yeah,
just
JDS
geeking out over him.
JDS was there, and then Jorge Masvidal came later.
Yeah, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Sean Porter. That was so weird, man. But yeah, the
Trump was hilarious, man.
The Silva fight, man. Tito Ortiz coming in there throwing punches at, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was
such a slow pace.
I was so surprised. I was surprised that this was even gonna happen. I feel like this was such like a. Like Anderson had just boxed Chavez Jr. This is like such a step back as far as like his boxing competition, I think, right? Like, Tito's like big and slow. It was I don't know.
Yeah, it was bad.
This was an easy fight for Anderson. It was typical Anderson, just like trying to lure him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tito's like when he started throwing punches, I was like, man, this is gonna be bad. Like his speed was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was bad.
Just gets caught 2 times, and really it was just that one time.
Yeah, really it was the one time he was out standing up, and then he hit him again to knock him down.
Yeah.
But you know, he was throwing crazy slow punches, and Anderson just kept ducking low, and then he just came up with a real fast right on the jaw.
Boom.
And he was pretty much out on his feet, just like standing up, out like sleeping, standing up,
laying on the ropes.
And then he hit him with a couple of left hooks, I think, and he finally fell down. Ref stopped it, and I knew he wasn't getting back up. He was out.
Yeah, he's a meme.
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time before we start seeing memes. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they happen right away.
I'm sure they're out now.
They put the one with Joe Rogan next to him, trying to talk to him.
Oh, that's right. You showed me that one.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. Yeah, Tito Ortiz is from that UFC era of brawlers. You know what I mean? Like big brawlers. Like he never had like huge like striking like technique. You know what I mean? He wasn't a super skilled striker. Anderson's obviously is known as that, and is so much faster. And this is now his second fight. He's been training now probably a couple years boxing. He seems to be taking it pretty serious. Yeah, I think this is a big step back in competition for him, and it was just easy.
Oh yeah.
You think he keeps boxing?
Yeah, I mean,
I'd like to see Jake Paul fight him.
So he's gonna be, he's what, 2-0 now?
2-0.
2-0 with a first round knockout.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you know, why not? Keep doing it, man. You know, don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Don't try to fight.
As long as he's not taking crazy damage, he should fucking keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, and actually, it's funny because he got Canelo's support.
Oh yeah.
That night, you know. So.
Yep.
Yeah, first round knockout. What was the name of that kid that was singing the national anthem? Did you hear that?
Yeah, young black kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I don't remember, but he fucking killed it.
Yeah, he bodied that, man. I was so happy. I was
like,
wow. I wish I could have showed my daughter that, man. Like, hey,
yeah,
look.
I saw it on Instagram this morning.
Yeah, man, he did a great job. I got to get his name. I'm sure I could find it online. Man. Yeah, so moving on to the main event, which I did happen to watch. Vitor Belfort taking on a 58, almost 59-year-old Evander, the real deal Holyfield.
Ooh, he hasn't fought in how long?
Since like 2006. And that's actually pretty. He was pretty old then.
Yeah,
you know.
That's crazy.
And he's been in some wars, man. Like, you know, of course, like I had to go back and watch like some of his highlights.
Yeah.
And some of the, not just his highlights, but just like parts of his fights. You know, with Riddick Bowe and of course with Tyson and Lennox Lewis. It was
So he was taking on Vitor Belfort. So he was UFC, I think, light heavyweight champ. I'm looking for how old he is.
He was like 44, yeah.
Yeah, 44. And he hasn't been out of fighting that long. Like he probably fought maybe a year or two ago. I think for Bellator. You know, he was always known for having quick hands. I mean, I think Evander was way bigger than him, but
that wasn't gonna matter.
It was sad for me when I saw an interview like yesterday morning of Evander, like a recent one, and I saw he was like kind of struggling to talk a little bit. And then right when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is not fun. This is not fun anymore."
That's what I'm saying. Like basically, like throughout the whole night, it was hitting me more and more. Like, yo, this is gonna be bad.
That interview is really what did it for me. And then I was just like, man, like I don't know. I just
when they did the face off and at the press conference and they did the face off and like they took pictures. Like Holyfield didn't even put his hands up.
Yeah,
like he's just literally just standing there taking pictures. I'm like, bro, you gotta at least put your hands up.
Man. And now it makes sense why Nevada didn't want to sanction the fight. At first, that seems kind of odd to me, but now I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
They're not gonna sanction. Like, they're just not, bro. Like at his age, like that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how great he was, you know. But Somebody let him get in the ring, and Vitor Belfort honestly didn't look like he was trying to hurt him.
Yeah.
You know, it did look like he was pulling his punches a little bit, but it looked like he was doing enough to.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to get it over quick. Like.
Yeah, and you know, I've never been so happy to see a fight get stopped, man. Freaking Holyfield, he lunges with a punch. He lunges with like a left hook.
Yeah.
And misses, falls, damn near falls out the freaking ring. I was like, yo, you know, they could have just stopped it right there. Like,
yeah, because even the knockdown was more almost him like taking a step backwards and like losing balance.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like he got hit crazy hard.
There's no reason why Holyfield should be in the ring boxing at all. Period.
Yeah.
Not against Vitor, not against an MMA fighter, not against anybody his age. Not like it just shouldn't be happening. Man.
Wasn't there talks of him fighting Tyson again?
That's what he wants. He still wants that. He's still making claims like I still want the fight. And listen, please, please, nobody should be letting him fight. Nobody should sanction a fight with Holyfield. Nobody.
Yeah, no.
Or Riddick Bowe for that matter. My God, y'all trying to kill these guys, man. It's insane, man. Like, it really does bother me. Like,
fuck yeah.
You know, we made a big deal, bro. Like, we made a big deal about him fighting in 2006. In 2006, he was being interviewed before fights. Like, are you Evander?
So he was still in his 50s by then.
He was in his 40s.
Was he?
Yeah. We're talking like 15 years ago, bro. Like, and then like people were saying like,
yeah.
are you sure you still want to do this? Like, you're ruining your legacy, this, that, and the third. Because he was just losing. He was losing fights. And, you know, that's why a lot of those great fighters have a lot of losses. Because, you know, they fight way too long in their career. And take unnecessary L's, you know?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, man, it happened. And the fight got stopped. And Triller's terrible production.
Yeah.
You know, I remember they had Vitor, like, they were doing his interview, his post-fight interview, and they were doing Holyfield's post-fight interview at the same time. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And so, like, they focused on Holyfield's, and then they made Vitor, like, basically redo his. Then I guess the owners of Triller or whatever, like, the guys, they came out, and they were just like, they just sounded freaking coked up, and they're like, you know, super hype. And they was telling, they basically challenged Jake Paul. They were like, we're putting $30 million the winner, you versus Jake Paul.
I did see that, yeah, $30 million purse for the winner.
He said if Jake Paul doesn't take it, we know why. Like, basically insinuating that
to fight Vitor, right?
To fight Vitor Belfort on Thanksgiving. Apparently that will be their 1-year anniversary to Triller.
Triller?
Hey, I'm for that. I honestly think that could be a good scrap.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't try to make the rematch of fucking Anderson and Vitor. You know what I mean? Like, that was kind of right there. I guess Anderson for some reason just isn't a draw in boxing yet, right? Like, I guess Vitor isn't either. That's why he has to fight either an Oscar or a fucking Jake Paul.
None of these guys. I mean, that's why you have to put as much celebrities in there as possible. I mean, like 50 Cent, that's random. Trump, I mean, that's still kind of random, and his son.
Fuck yeah. And I wonder if it worked. I wonder how many people watched just because Trump was commentating. Did you hear that? At one point, Trump goes, "They tell me a lot of people are listening. I wonder why." And he's like joking about it. He's like, "Oh, they must have heard you guys were gonna be here." Like joking, or you know what I mean, like insinuating. Obviously, people are tuning in because of him. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I thought that was hilarious the way he was talking.
Yeah, I mean that's how Trump is, man. He loves himself, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I mean I would like to see Anderson Silva box Vitor. I think that would be interesting. You know, they fought in MM and UFC once. Yeah, and that was the infamous front kick to the jaw, like the fucking that was crazy, front kick knockout. Yeah. That'd be interesting to see them box. But yeah, I guess they're not really, neither of them are a draw, so I'm sure some hardcore fans would like to watch that, but I wouldn't probably sell too many pay-per-views. I would like to see Jake Paul fight either Vitor or Anderson. I think either of them would be a good fight.
I mean, in terms of like levels of skill, obviously Jake Paul isn't the fighter that these guys are, but if they're boxing, it could be interesting.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
I'm just glad that that's over with, and yeah, man, I really hope that like that was enough for everybody involved in boxing to just be like, we're never letting Holyfield.
Oh yeah, Holyfield for sure.
Like that's insane.
And they should rethink any other older boxers. Like, you think Oscar still does it?
Probably, although I don't know, man, because I hear coming back from COVID is rough, especially when you're older like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Definitely has to be like a softer touch.
Yeah.
He's talking about coming back to fight Canelo or Floyd Mayweather. And he even said after a few fights, he's like, I want to take a couple fights and then make the biggest comeback in boxing history by taking on Floyd Mayweather or Canelo.
This guy needs money bad. He owes somebody a lot of money.
Nah, man, I think he just wants to fight, man. I really do.
He should stick to fighting MMA fighters then. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh yeah, man. He should do the Jake Paul.
Fight Jake Paul, fight Vitor, fight Anderson, like fight those guys.
Yeah, like do the Jake Paul, like do what Jake Paul's doing. Just fight guys in MMA that got a big name and you can beat them.
Fuck yeah.
That's the move, man. But yeah, I mean he probably wants to fight Pacquiao again.
Who? Oscar? That'd be interesting.
That was his last fight.
Yeah, right.
Getting knocked out, getting stopped by Pacquiao.
Yeah, I remember that. They threw in the towel, right? Like
yeah.
Maybe like 6 rounds or something.
Something like that, 6 7 rounds, yeah.
And then he went on to promote Pacquiao for a while, right? Oscar.
Did he?
I think so. Wasn't right after that? I think Pacquiao was on Golden Boy for a little bit.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know Pacquiao was with Top Rank for the longest time, but September 25th. It's gonna be a really interesting date for boxing and MMA. You got the
this one, the UFC 266.
266, and during the day, you're gonna have the Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk card. That's an interesting one because that's a good card, man. You got some good.
I see some pictures of AJ. He looks real lean.
Yeah, man, he's looking slim.
Yeah, he looks a lot slimmer than he's usually like.
He needs to be elusive in this fight because he's taking on a very, very good. He's probably taking skill wise. He's taking on his best opponent yet.
Yeah,
easily. It's just a matter of, can Usyk be like the great Holyfield?
Yeah.
Can he be a great cruiserweight and heavyweight? You don't really see that too often.
So he's coming up from cruiserweight.
Yeah, he was undisputed. Super dominant, and but the card is I kind of want to shed some light on this, man. You have Calum Smith taking on Lennon Castillo. This is a light heavyweight fight. Calum Smith is making his light heavyweight debut. Lennon Castillo is pretty good. He's a pretty good seasoned veteran. Lost a decision to Marcus Brown, and dropped him in that fight. So he got some experience. He's a good step up fight for Calum Smith to enter the division. Calum Smith a big guy, so
yeah,
we'll see what he could do at 175. And you have speaking of cruiserweight, you have a title fight with Lawrence Okoli taking on Dylan Prozovic. Yeah, so and then of course you have the main event. AJ taking on Alexander Usyk for the unified heavyweight championship, IBF WBA, and WBO.
Ukrainian.
Yeah, man. He's training with Papachenko. Lomachenko's pops trainer and all that. So and I hear that he's looking good. I hear that Usyk, he's sparring these guys. I've seen pictures. They're huge.
Yep.
They're like AJ's size, bigger. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, man. I think both these guys are actually slow starters. So it's gonna be interesting to see who can come out faster.
How big is Usyk? Is he just as tall?
No, Usyk is short.
6'3".
Shorter. He's 6'3".
6'6".
He's a smaller guy for the heavyweight division. He's
Yeah.
probably gonna be giving up like 20-30 pounds, if not more. I don't know, man. I think AJ is going to be able to stay on the outside, outbox him. And in terms of both being slow starters, I think AJ might be the one to come out a little faster.
Yeah, AJ got this reach advantage too by a lot.
Yeah, he has a good reach advantage, and I think he'll be shooting that jab. I think he'll fight really cautiously, kind of like how he fought against Andy Ruiz in the second fight.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that Alexander Usyk will be as stationary as Andy Ruiz was in that second fight.
Yeah.
He's gonna come to fight. So I think towards the middle rounds is when things will shake up and get a little more interesting. But if I'm being honest, I think it's gonna be a real technical chess match between two guys. I don't know if we're gonna see anybody get hurt, hit the canvas, anything like that.
Yeah.
If that does happen, I would favor AJ to do that more. He's just a bigger guy.
To knock down.
More powerful.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've seen AJ get.
Yeah, we know AJ can get hurt and can get drops.
And so keeping that in mind is
Usyk's
just gonna make that
undefeated.
can make that an interesting circumstance for the fight. Yeah, undefeated.
Yeah, should be a good fight. So who do you got?
I got AJ by decision, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be able to use his size and all that slimming down. I think he's gonna be fast. I think he's gonna be real.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're fighting a smaller guy, maybe the smaller guy have, movement advantage, but Usyk. I mean, not Usyk. Joshua moves well either way.
Yeah. Usyk does have terrific feet, man. Good. He can cut off the ring, but I don't think that's what's gonna.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be much of a factor in this one.
We'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, if either guy lands a big shot, they could probably hurt him.
Yes.
So, again, just keeping that in mind is
still
going to make
heavyweights.
this fight very interesting.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then, the winner of that fight will likely take on the winner of the
trilogy.
The Wilder and
Fury.
Wilder and Fury fight.
Damn, it's gonna be good.
For undisputed. So yeah, man, it's fun. We need this, man. We need this because I think next week was supposed to be the Fulton and Figueroa fight, which got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too happy about that. I was really upset. So that was like one of my favorite fights,
Yeah.
of the year. I was looking forward to. And next big fight in boxing is the AJ and Usyk fight. Same day, later that night. If you're in our time zone, you got the UFC 266.
Yeah, Volkanovsky versus Brian Ortega. They just did the what was it called, the Ultimate Fighter coaches thing. This fight was supposed to happen before, like fucking 6 months ago or something, but Volkanovsky got COVID. I think Volkanovsky pulls it off, man. I think he beats Ortega. I think he could. I don't know if he'll finish him, but I think he could win by decision. Ortega's tough. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Max Holloway beat him up pretty good. Max Holloway stopped him, and that fight was pretty bad. Like Ortega got beat up. He took a beating that fight, and then after that, I think he fought the Korean Zombie and he fought Frankie Edgar, who are two like older guys. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he's. I don't know how he's gonna do against Volkanovski. I don't think Ortega got much for him. I think Volkanovski is stronger, so I don't think he's gonna try to wrestle him. I think Ortega probably thinks he has the advantage striking, but we'll see. Volkanovski went 2 fights, 10 rounds now, five rounds with Holloway, and no one really does that. Holloway been finishing guys like nothing.
And what happens like after this fight, like for the winner?
Well, Volkanovski's the champ. So I'm trying to think who else is there. Featherweight. There's definitely a lot of other featherweights. Well, the Max Holloway fight is always there again. Everybody, that was really controversial. Everybody thinks that Max won both those fights. Both decisions against Volkanovsky. And he seems to be getting better. He's clearly, if not number one, number two, Max Holloway, because every time he fights any of these other guys, he's been destroying them. Like the last guy he fought, Calvin Kattar, who's like good up and comer, like, he has some impressive wins. Max beat him up too, like, put a fucking beating on that kid.
Yeah.
The co-main, Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. Valentina's has that division on lock. I don't really see her, Lauren Murphy presenting any kind of threat to her, standing or on the ground. I don't know.
And this is a championship fight?
Yep.
Nice.
This got to be her like 6th or 7th defense at least.
Nice.
She's dominating that flyweight division. I mean, they pretty much almost made it for her. You know what I mean? Like, she fought Amanda Nunes, bantamweight, and that was really like too big of a weight class for her. And I think she fought Joanna when Joanna was like the 115 champ, and she lost to her. And then they made the 125 division, and then she's been like, as soon as they made it, I think she was like the second champ, and then she's been champ ever since. I think that's the newest division they made, the 125 for the girls. I don't see her losing anytime soon. Definitely not to Lauren Murphy, I don't think. And then the return of Nick Diaz, that's gonna be fun against Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nick seems, I don't know. I can't really say anything until I see him. Until I see him out there. Like, it could be good or it could be bad.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not sad.
A lot of ring rust, man.
Yeah, it's a long time. I think his last fight was against Anderson Silva. That's crazy because he fought like all the GOATs. Like, he fought GSP, he fought Anderson Silva, he fought BJ Penn, he fought all those guys. He was in a crazy era. It's kind of a shame that we didn't get to see more of him after that. And then
that was a good time though.
Hell yeah. And then that heavyweight fight should be good too. Curtis Blades and Rosenstrike. Yeah. Both are heavyweight contenders. I think they both got knocked out by Ngannou. At this point, half the division has been knocked out by Ngannou.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be a good card. Jessica Andrade is also fighting Cynthia Calvillo. Good fight. She's Mexican and Jessica's Brazilian. That should be a good fight. And this Friday, Anthony Smith is gonna fight Ryan Spann. It seemed like they're just trying to make some promo for this fight. Like, I seen a bunch of shit, them talking shit back and forth to each other. But I don't think they even have any kind of history, or I don't know. It just seemed like they just told these guys like, hey, you guys got to sell this fight. I don't think nobody knows this is even happening. Yeah, there's not really much on that card. But yeah, 266 should be good. A couple other things in the MMA world. Alex Pereira, a Glory kickboxing champion, just signed to UFC. He is mostly known for being the only guy that ever knocked out Israel Adesanya in kickboxing. So that's fun. I'm sure Izzy would love to get that win back or get that fight back.
Yeah, we've seen that. That was a bad knockout.
Yeah, and then we've seen that he just Alex Pereira had just lost his last fight just recently in like the 4th of September. And then what are we at today? Today's the 12th. And his signing was announced like 4 days ago that he signed. So like last week basically, right? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And his fight was maybe like 2 weeks ago. So I wonder if he already had like a foot out the door in the kickboxing, and that's kind of why he probably already had this plan to sign with the UFC.
Yeah.
Maybe wasn't fully committed to the kickboxing and slipped up a little bit. But that should be good. Izzy's kind of ran through that middleweight division, so seeing some new guys in there should be good.
Yeah.
And especially them, they already got that history. It's almost guaranteed they're gonna, they already got how to sell that fight right there.
Yeah, he's gonna have to hurry up and make moves. He's already 34.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah. I mean, I think Izzy's also like 31, 32, but yeah, 34 coming into the UFC is kind of old.
Yeah.
So I wonder what his if he's had any I mean, I'm sure by now he's been doing some grappling, but I wonder if he did it before. It's interesting. We saw he fought Izzy twice actually. He fought him once in 2016 and beat him by decision, and in 2017 is when he knocked him out. It was a left hook KO. It was pretty impressive. But like you pointed out, I think Izzy did look kind of tired. He looked like he didn't look himself in there for sure.
It looked more fatigued. I need to know like what round it was, and I'd like to watch the whole fight. For real. You know.
I'm kind of surprised that kickboxing isn't more popular, like Glory and all that shit.
Yeah, well, you know, when I was going to watch the Holyfield Belfort fight, I was on fight.tv, their website, and while I was waiting, I was looking through all the stuff. Man, they got a ton of stuff. Like they have so you know, I guess like I don't know if it's Ken or Frank Shamrock. They have their own fighting league. It's called like Shamrock Fighting League. Did you know that?
I think I had seen that somewhere. I think
I just found that out.
I think I had heard of it, but
a ton of other stuff too. Like I think they have a lot of like celebrity boxing fights that I didn't know were coming up. James Toney's gonna be fighting somebody.
What?
I was like, oh man, it's all on Fight TV. All those crazy fights and all those like smaller promotions or whatever. Yeah, they're all on Fight TV, man. If y'all want to check that out, you know.
Yeah, like every time I see kickboxing highlights, they be lit. Like it looks dope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, where the hell this be? I don't know where they showed this at. But yeah, Alex Pereira, that should be fun. And then also something else I read. I don't know if you saw. It was kind of relieving for me. You know how Darren Till lost to Brunson. His coach said after the fight that he had a torn ACL. He tore his ACL like 9 weeks out, I guess. And he just chose it was 9 weeks out, so he pretty much told him, he's like, give me like a couple weeks to, see if I can, run and move around. And I guess he just, fought through it and, still wanted to fight. And like I said, I think that was a little relieving for me because I was like, I thought he looked out of shape. I mean, that explains it, right? Like that explains why he was out of shape. I was hoping it wasn't something darker going on, you know what I mean? So that's dope. Hopefully he heals up and comes back. Yeah. I think that's all I got, really.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I just wanted to run through that September 25th card, which I did. So that's probably when we'll come back.
So that'll be our episode 10, and we'll probably skip next week and then come back the following week with probably a long episode.
Yeah. But until then, my name is Manny.
My name's Alberto.
This is the Onlyfights Podcast, and we out.
Peace.